That's a factual statement. However, I look at it like, well, people more important than me have people more important that generate more money that are on a bigger stage than me have been canceled. So it's like the big domino falls and then everything else can fall too. So it's like it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. So it's just crazy. But leading into that, right? So Jimmy Kimmel Live, it's essentially being canceled. It's essentially being canceled. So that's our next topic. That's our next topic. And but yeah, just again, you can leave a comment below what you think about the events that happened on September 10th. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to really pose a question as to what kind of comments I like, but leave a comment below. Share your thoughts about that event. You know, whether I agree or disagree, whether you think I'm agree or disagree. Just let me know what you think in the comment section, and maybe we can have a discussion there. But Jimmy Kimmel, his show was essentially canceled. So let's see. Let's see if we can read a little something here. This article is from a couple days ago. It says why Jimmy Kimmel's show was yanked off the air. I'm gonna read this real quick or a piece of this, and we'll go on there from there. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. What we covered here, it says Disney's ABC pulling Jimmy Kimmel's late night talk show off the air indefinitely is not the last shoe to drop. FCC Chair Brendan Carr said on Fox News today. Carr also praised President Donald Trump for creating a massive shift in the media ecosystem. A source told CNN that while no decision has been made on how to move forward, Disney is hopeful there's a path to bring Kimmel's show back. Kimmel's contract is up at the end of his current season, taking him through May of 2026. Kimmel's show was pulled amid public pressure from Carr and ABC affiliates. The controversy stems from Kimmel's comments on Monday night's monologue about Charlie Kirk's suspected killer. Kimmel has not yet commented on the suspension. Let's see. There's a lot of people. Okay. I thought I had a piece of this article that was gonna get into who Brandon Carr was. Let's see. Okay, yeah, let's take a look here. Disney's ABC is taking Jimmy Kimmel's late night talk show off the air indefinitely amid a controversy over his recent comments about Charlie Kirk's suspected killer. Jimmy Kimmel Live will be preempted indefinitely, an ABC spokesperson said, declining to share any further details. A representative for Kimmel did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The sudden decision came just a few hours after the Trump administration official responsible for after the Trump administration official responsible for licensing ABC's local stations publicly pressured the company to punish Kimmel. At least two major owners of ABC affiliated stations subsequently said they would preempt Kimmel's show, sparking speculation that the owners were trying to curry favor with the administration. The local media conglomerates are each seeking mergers that would require administration approval. As Kimmel prepared to tape Wednesday night's episode in Hollywood, ABC decided to pull the plug, much to the astonishment of the entertainment industry. Here it says um, here it says free speech and free expression groups immediately condemned ABC, calling the suspension cowardly, while President Trump, who frequently sparred with Kimmel, celebrated all the way from the UK, where he is on state vacation. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Trump wrote in a post to his Truth Social platform. That leaves Jimmy Fallon and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC. Says the indefinite hiatus underscores how politicized opinions and comments around the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk have become, with high profile campaigns urging employers to fire people who make comments perceived as unflattering about Kirk. So, again, it's like that's what we're here. That's what's happening right now. As a matter of fact, I do actually have a little video to share. I have a little video to share here. So it's gonna be about. Uh, oh, I have a video share. It's gonna be about kind of like this Kimmel stuff here. All right, here we go. I'm gonna share my screen here with y'all. All right, let's share. Listen here.
Understand the full impact of Jimmy Kimmel's show being pulled off the air, you have to first understand how broadcast television works. Jimmy Kimmel has a staff of about 22 people and hundreds of production folks who work on creating the content that is creating the Jimmy Kimmel Live show. That show is then produced by ABC. ABC then has to work with the distributor, in this case Sinclair Broadcast Company, to get the show onto your television. With Sinclair Broadcast Media that threatened to not distribute any of ABC's programming unless they pulled the Jimmy Kimmel show. This is the Sinclair Smith family, and Julian, the patriarch of the family, was a pioneer of early broadcast television. Sinclair Media Company controls about 26% of everything that gets aired on television. They are an open and unapologetic conservative family. They donate almost exclusively to the Republican Party. And while the old man passed away in the 90s, the company has been run by his sons ever since. And you can see a little bit more transparently now how this Jimmy Kimmel thing happened. They write that they will not lift the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel Live on their stations until formal discussions are held with ABC regarding the network's commitment to professionalism and accountability. They also want Jimmy Kimmel to issue a formal apology to the Kirk family and to make a meaningful personal donation to the Kirk family and Turning Point USA. And they reiterate, regardless of ABC's plans for the future of the programming, hinting that perhaps ABC will just straight up cancel Jimmy Kimmel altogether, Sinclair intends to not return Jimmy Kimmel Live to the air until they are confident that these steps have been taken. In addition to ABC, Sinclair controls the distribution for CBS, Fox, the CW, and NBC. And because of the way that television is set up, they have the right to preempt or refuse to air any show that they don't want to air. Sinclair Media is also a huge lobbyist of the government, constantly trying to break down controls and regulations against media monopolies. They have a very close relationship with Donald Trump himself and many members of the Trump administration. And they've been criticized for decades now for doing this thing called must reads, where all of the local news channels that they own must read certain content that Sinclair provides. Very often that content includes conservative talking points, conservative politics, or otherwise conservative stories. They are incredibly powerful. I mean, probably the most powerful entity in media, truly. And tomorrow night they plan to air a tribute to Charlie Kirk in the Jimmy Kimmel Live slot. Well, couldn't ABC just move Jimmy Kimmel to another distributor? No, because the other distributor is Nexstar, and they are just as conservative as Sinclair. They also said that they will not air Jimmy Kimmel's show until he makes certain amends with the Kirk family and with this distributor. It's a rock and a hard place, guys. It's Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert now, but could be anybody next.
All right, so there you have it. So thank you for that. Under the desk news, a lot of useful information, pretty much breaking down everything that kind of went down. But they're talking about how it's just crazy how broadcast media. One, it's kind of wild how it's still alive because it is such a monopoly. But the same distributor, what Sinclair Media, they distribute if they distribute all the content for all the major broadcast networks, ABC, Fox, NBC, CBS, and then you talk about even smaller ones like the CW and stuff like that. Then like there is no place for this stuff to be. Um, there's no way for this to be like remedied. Like it is what it is, and oh, it is what it is. Let me see. It is what it is, and it also just shows you that like because we could talk a little bit about free speech, but at the end of the day, when the president when the distribution company has certain political leanings, and then the president and they're in the president's ear, or the president is in their ear about what can and cannot be broadcasted, then yeah, again, you're in between a rock and a hard place, and there's like no way to kind of like beat that system, so to speak, unless the only thing that you could do is to kind of distribute independently. Um, and these companies are they don't want to do that because there's billions of dollars tied into these deals that they're not just about to start going on to YouTube and giving us content directly. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. But it's kind of crazy with the free speech stuff because you have all these people getting doxxed and you have yeah, late night talk shows getting canceled. So Stephen Colbert, he's gonna be off the air, I think by the end of next year or middle of next year. Jimmy Kimmel, if his show comes back, his contract will be up. So sometimes I'm wondering if this is like a bigger like if it's a bigger play to just kind of truly get rid of late night talk shows, or or is it a way that um like are we gonna see late night talk shows ever again after these mainstays kind of go away? Are they gonna revive it? Is there still a need for that? I don't know. Like I think those platforms were places where celebrities could kind of plug things that are brand new. It would be a stage for like newer artists, like if they got a chance to perform. And like those platforms aren't going to necessarily exist anymore if these things keep dying. But it also is like were these companies just gonna end these contracts anyway, and this publicity is now a reason for them to do it?